So we're spending some time today with White Glove Building Inspections, one of DuPage Real Producers' preferred partners, and want to get to know Carol and Cole Fisher and kind of what makes them and this business tick. So to start out, Carol, can you give us a little bit of a background? What's the background and story of White Glove?
Absolutely. Hello. Go. Always got to do the glove, everybody's waiting for that. Anyways, that's the history. White Glove was started in 1990. We chose the name basically because it is a military term. My husband was in the Navy. Military term meaning that you're doing a quality inspection and you use that glove to inspect it. But most people do associate sometimes with it cleaning, but we inspect real estate for the property and the conditions, etc. We chose it because we were in the construction industry and cash flow was big lumps in and out, and the industry was brand new, and it seemed to fit both of our protocols and our interests as well as our talents, and it was a new industry, so we jumped in. It was actually a franchise at first. But it did fold. The franchisor was sued by us all, unfortunately, but for FTC guidelines not being correct. So we went out on our own with our own individual name, White Glove, and it was a good story thereafter. And basically, we've been doing inspections 30 years, both residential and commercial and ancillary services.
And you're based in Naperville, but what's your service area?
We basically will go almost everywhere except for out of state, Wisconsin and Indiana borders, because it is licensed, and we do only have licensed inspectors here in Illinois because we're kind of central to the western suburbs here, so we can navigate any of the towns and into Chicago and even due west from here. So
okay. And as inspection companies go, you have a pretty big team. How many inspectors on your team?
we have 6 currently and 2 in training, almost ready to be released, and we're looking forward to that.
Always looking for a great hire.
Always.
All right, great. So I know a lot of people, especially in DuPage, know your White Glove and they know about your company, but tell us something they don't know about you.
Oh dear, let's see. I guess one of the weirdest highlights is doing the Tony Robbins fire walk. That was pretty exceptional. There's some other things, but I'm not going to talk about them.
Did you? When did you do the fire walk?
Oh, quite a while ago, and maybe 20 years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
How did that change you?
I guess the biggest outcome is that you can do anything. You just put your mind to it, boom, and there you go. So
great. So what do you enjoy most about, you've been doing it quite a while, what do you enjoy most about what you do?
I think the marketing aspect, anything that's creative here, that is the most. Can you see me? I don't know. I have a phone call coming in.
No. Well,
her Zoom app's ringing.
Yeah, this is life at shelter in place. It's what's
sure happens. Is. Yep, all of our voice over IP phones come off on all of our phones here. So yeah, we are all dispersed around in our own worlds and answering phone calls from different tangents. So the question, marketing, anything creative, and fun. I do like getting out with people and doing one-on-one.
Okay. So how has the COVID crisis affected your company?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Of course, we started out with that huge fear factor or daunting, or what do we do? How do we do it, etc. Mm-hmm. And it still feels like that. It's very much such an unknown factor, and we're going into properties every day, multiple properties, meeting different people, wondering how the property condition actually is and how safe everything is. it's been a learning curve like everybody else. You know, how do you get through this? What do we do? How do we do it well? How do we protect our employees? How do we wrestle with the idea of safety versus keeping the business going? What do we implement? It's been an interesting challenge.
So how do you keep moving forward safely? I mean, do you see these practices maintaining? I mean, let's just say there's a point in the future where governmental authorities say there's very little or no threat. Do you see the hygiene practices that you put in place during inspections sticking around forever?
That really depends on how concrete they can say that. Yeah. I think some of the sanitation procedures and wearing masks and gloves, that's intrusive. It's really hard to communicate that way. I definitely can see going to a virtual situation where we are always communicating with the client virtually as we do the inspection. It's going to save time on everybody's plate there. So I can see that sticking around. Other states absolutely do not have a buyer come with on an inspection. We're kind of unique here in Illinois that that's normal, and a practice that's kind of obviously hard to limit or change right now. I mean, we've gotten a lot of kickback on that. It's been very interesting on that point. And of course, opinions are all over the place, you know, what they should or shouldn't do. And if they should or shouldn't come with, and their fear factor or not influences it all. I really do hope it actually goes to something like that. And I think it's going to be a win-win situation for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, a very wise business teacher once told me that really successful companies usually have a Ms. Inside and a Ms. Outside, or a Mr. Inside and a Mr. Outside. And my perception is that, Carol, you're Ms. Outside, and Cole, you're Ms. Inside. So before we wrap up, can you tell us what's your role at White Glove?
So I'm the operations manager, and I am one of the friendly voices you hear on the phone when you book an inspection. But I'm also the person who's always looking at the systems and seeing how to make them more efficient. That was what I did for my job before this. My job was basically to manage people, time, and resources, and I really do use that skill here. And it's all about leveraging what you have, you know. And making sure that you use what you have really well and really know how to use it before you start innovating.
Excellent. Yes, I think you and I met at an event. You guys did a haunted house theme. Did you guys win that contest for?
Of course.
Oktoberfest. Man, your booth was really tricked out. That was a lot of fun. Well, thanks so much thanks for spending some time. Yes, for sure. Thanks for spending some time with me and the DuPage Real Producers community today. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.